Some things during the process of being executor are even harder to share. And this was one of those moments. Decisions are carefully considered when a trust is created, meaning who will be included, what would be distributed, how would things be handled. Those decisions were made deliberately in writing, most often years before an executor ever finds themselves managing it. Not everyone agrees all the time with those decisions. In my case, what followed was one of the most difficult times of this entire process. A family member believed the outcome should have been different. That belief was held firmly and pursued with determination. At a certain point, it moved beyond conversation and into territory I hadn't anticipated. When a family disagreement goes beyond a certain point, something changes. It stops feeling like a misunderstanding. It starts feeling like something else entirely. Yet, through all of it, I kept returning to the same foundation and standards. The trust was written for a reason. My parents made their choices deliberately. My role was to honor what they left behind, not to negotiate it, not to reinterpret it, and not to be pressured into undoing what they clearly intended. My parents trusted me. They saw something in me that they believed would carry the trust forward with integrity. In those hardest moments, that knowledge was the one thing I held on to. Not every executor will face this specific situation, but many will face the moment where someone in the family believes the outcome should have been different, where old wounds resurface, where the question beneath the argument isn't really necessarily about what's written in the documents. For some, it's about being seen, about feeling chosen, about things that began long before the trust existed. I couldn't resolve any of that, and actually, I wouldn't, because as executor, that's not part of my role. All I do is continue to honor what my parents entrusted me with. And I did, and still do. I'm Paige, and this is Living with What Remains. There's a Substack article that accompanies this. Look in the description box for the link. Next week, I want to talk about what it feels like when the legal weight of this role arrives at your door and what you do with it. I'll see you then.